So a central question to the metaphysical problem of the mind-body problem is the question, what is the relationship between the mind, the thing that has those mental characteristics, and the body, the thing that has those physical characteristics? And people have given various answers to these questions. One answer is known as monism. Monism as in one. That is, people are made of one kind of substance. That's why it's a metaphysical problem. It's what's the nature of reality? What is the nature of these things? And the nature is, according to this kind of view, that people are made of one kind of substance. And we've already heard one answer that people give. That is, it's something that might be called materialism or physicalism, and it's a monistic view. That is, people are just the physical objects. There are no mental substances at all. That is, all these mental characteristics are just characteristics of the physical object, and the brain gives them that capability. Now, there's another version of monism, not the one that's pretty commonly held in kind of the scientific view today, but it's one called idealism. And if you think of it, idealism, the name comes from the term idea, and that is that the real stuff, what's really you, is the mental stuff. That is, you are just a mind. And there really are no physical objects. So if we think back to the movie The Matrix, when we saw that the guy is getting these things projected in his head, that's sort of the idea behind idealism. There are no things out there. You're not that physical thing. It's just stuff in your mind. The only things that exist are minds. And there are various ways that they try to explain away the physical, the things that we think are physical, in the same way that physicalists or materialists try to explain away the mind. Now that's one end, one sort of answer to the mind-body problem. Another sort of answer is dualism, right? That there are really two different kinds of things. That people are made up of minds, mental things, mental substances, and bodies. Now this sort of view raises an interesting question. So there are variations on dualism. And the interesting question is, well, hold on a second. I understand how one physical thing causes another physical thing to happen, right? If you think about it, go to the pool hall, watch somebody playing pool or billiards. You might have seen it. The stick bumps into the white ball, the cue ball, sends the cue ball moving. The cue ball runs into one of the numbered balls, hits it, and it goes off. So the physical contact causes the motion, and the physical contact of one object causes the motion and physical contact of the other object. Mental causation, maybe it's a little bit harder to explain, but still, you're thinking about something, one thought leads to the other thought leads you to another, and you have a whole chain of mental things going on. But the question is, how can that mental thing make the physical thing move? Right? Notice, if you were worried, if you were going to be a determinist, with respect to the problem of freedom and determinism, you think that there are mental events causing the physical events, and the mental events are caused by things that happen before them. But there's this idea that things, somehow the mind and the body react, and it's hard to explain. And this view is called dualistic interactionism, that there's an interaction between mind and body, that is, mental and physical events cause each other. Now, some of the philosophers we're going to be studying thought they can't possibly explain how a mental thing can cause a physical thing to happen, nor vice versa. So there's a view that was called parallelism. It's almost like there are two universes running in parallel. One is the mental universe, and one is the physical universe. And some people who held this view thought that it was God that wound everything up to make it look like the one thing causes the other. But mental events can only cause mental events, and physical events can only cause physical events. And kind of never the twain shall meet. The two can't possibly meet. So there are two realms. They're not causally related. They run parallel, but that's why everything looks like it causes, like it's caused. So we're watching, and the bat or the very heavy brick comes down towards the physical object that's my foot, and it smashes my foot. And what's going on in the mental realm is I'm watching this happen, and then I'm feeling some kind of pain. But the rock really doesn't cause the pain. It just lined up running in parallel. Very weird view. But it was adopted because people couldn't understand how a mental thing could possibly cause a physical thing, and vice versa. Now there's one other view. There's an even stranger view. Now there are architectural features on certain churches that are just there for looks. I think there are these things called flying buttresses. Sometimes if you see churches, ancient, older churches in Europe, they have these, these structures coming out of the side. And structurally, they don't do there. They're kind of there for decoration. Well, there are people that take a similar view on these mental events, that there's only one way causation. It's the same way that those architectural features are there for looks. Well, mental features are just there for looks. So these architectural features, you'd say, are not real things, but they are epiphenomena. That is, there's something else. They're kind of an added thing. Well, similarly, physical events cause these mental events, and then the mental events are these epiphenomena. So that's where we get the name epiphenomenalism, but it doesn't work the same the other way around. That is, the mental stuff really can't cause any of the physical stuff, and that's why our notion of causation in physics works the way it does. That, too, is a very weird view. But notice, I think what we've done now is we've pretty much exhausted all the possibilities. And now the question is, which view is right? Well, that we'll have to take up as we study what some philosophers have to say and see what their arguments are for these various positions. Now, what you should do is you should take out the charts that we have, the Problems of Philosophy chart, and try to fill it out. I have special sheets for the problem of freedom and determinism, to write down the three propositions and explain the various positions. Try to fill that out. And now try to fill out something for the mind-body problem. You can leave personal identity. What is the mind-body problem? How would you define it, and what are the positions? And maybe even some of the variations on that.